Hello everyone, welcome to the three-part lecture on teams and groups. In today's organizations, most tasks are done in teams. Work has become so complex that collaboration is no longer optional. Understanding how groups and teams function is essential for managers and future leaders. A survey of top executives found that 91% believe teams are central to organizational success. In the POLC framework of management, teams relate most closely to the organizing function, but they also influence planning, leading, and controlling. In other words, teamwork cuts across all aspects of management. We are going to explore how teams develop, what makes them effective, what barriers they face, and how cohesion can be created and sustained. What is a group? A group is two or more individuals who interact to achieve specific goals. The key ideas are: there are multiple members. They interact and influence one another. They share goals. The actions of one member affect others. For example, think of a group of students working together on a class project. If one member does not complete their part, the group's final grade is affected. Organizations contain both formal and informal groups. Formal groups are intentionally created by the organization, like departments, project teams, or committees. Their roles, responsibilities, and goals are clearly defined. Informal groups form naturally through friendship or shared interests. For instance, a spontaneous group of employees from different departments might decide to go hiking or camping together on weekends. That is an informal group, not part of the official organizational chart. In this lecture, our focus will mainly be on formal groups. But remember that informal groups also influence workplace culture, communication, and morale. Stages of group development. Psychologist Bruce Tuckman studied how groups evolve and identified 5 key stages of development: forming, storming, norming, performing, and adjourning. Think of this as a group's life cycle. Just as individuals move through developmental stages, groups also grow and change over time. 1. Forming. In the forming stage, members come together for the first time. They may feel anxious and uncertain about their roles, the goals of the group, and who has authority. Members usually act politely and avoid conflict. They focus on getting to know each other, often through small talk and shared interests. This is an ideal time for social or team-building activities because it helps members connect and reduces anxiety. For example, think of your first group meeting in a new class project or your first day on a new job. Everyone is friendly but cautious, still figuring out the rules of the game. Groups that invest time in relationship building during this stage tend to perform better later on. 2. Storming. As people become more comfortable, they start to express their deeper thoughts, feelings, and opinions. This is the storming stage. Members become more authentic and may challenge each other's ideas or question leadership and goals. Conflict often arises as individuals test boundaries and explore their own influence within the group. For instance, when the Avengers first come together, Iron Man and Captain America clash over leadership and values. That is classic storming behavior. Although it can be uncomfortable, this stage is necessary for teams to build genuine understanding and trust. 3. Norming. After the storming phase, the group begins to develop norms, or shared rules and expectations. Members clarify roles, agree on goals, and establish ways to work together effectively. At this stage, members become more open and respectful toward each other and are willing to ask for help and give feedback. The leader often steps back and becomes more of a facilitator, letting the group take greater responsibility. Imagine a team that, after early conflicts, now agrees on how to divide tasks and hold each other accountable. That's the norming stage. 4. Performing. The performing stage is when the group reaches high effectiveness. Members are fully engaged and focused on achieving goals. They trust each other, coordinate smoothly, and feel part of something larger than themselves. The group has a clear vision and purpose. Leaders can now move into coaching roles, supporting members' growth and delegating leadership tasks. NASA's Apollo 11 mission team is a great example. By the time of the moon landing, each member knew exactly what to do, trusted the others, and operated with precision under pressure. 5. Adjourning. Finally, most teams reach an adjourning stage when their work is done. The group disbands, often after reflecting on lessons learned and celebrating achievements. An ideal way to close a team project is through a debrief meeting, acknowledging contributions, reviewing performance, and appreciating everyone's efforts. For example, after completing a successful marketing campaign, the team might meet to discuss what went well and celebrate their success together. Beyond linear growth. The punctuated equilibrium model. While Tuckman's model describes gradual, step-by-step development, real teams often change in less predictable ways. The punctuated equilibrium model suggests that teams experience long periods of stability, called equilibrium, interrupted by short bursts of radical change or punctuation. During stable periods, teams maintain routines and make only small adjustments. Then, an unexpected event, such as a crisis, deadline change, or new direction, creates a sudden need for transformation. These rapid changes can feel chaotic, but they are often the catalysts for creativity and innovation. In this model, disruption and conflict are not viewed as negative. Instead, they are opportunities for renewal, reflection, and improvement. After the burst of change, teams often settle into another period of relative stability, sometimes called an inertia stage or equilibrium interval, until the next major shift occurs. So, the key insight here is that change in teams doesn't always happen gradually. Sometimes it happens in rapid spurts, followed by calm, stable periods. Summary: teams are essential to modern organizations. Groups can be formal or informal. Tuckman's 5 stages, forming, storming, norming, performing, and adjourning, explain how groups evolve. In forming, members are polite and uncertain. In storming, they become more authentic and express differences. In norming, they become open, respectful, and cooperative. In performing, the team functions at its best, and leaders act as coaches. In adjourning, the group concludes its work and celebrates achievements. The punctuated equilibrium model shows that change in teams can happen in short bursts triggered by unexpected events, followed by stable periods of inertia. In the next part of this series, we'll explore the differences between groups and teams and examine what makes a team truly effective.